When you run a business, the buck stops with you. It's all on you to figure out what to do next, what needs to be solved, what direction to take. We understand the hardest decision a business owner faces is what's the next move. You shouldn't have to do it alone. That's why we're bringing the best minds in the home inspection industry together for Momentum, a one-day business building workshop connecting you with the guidance you deserve. Register for Momentum today to reserve your spot and take advantage of our early 50% off pricing. Click the link to register. Welcome back to Inspection Pro Joe. Today, Joey and I have for you a special episode that's going to be a little different from the norm. Today we have Brad Williams of Structured to Grow joining us. Brad is actually going to be one of the speakers at our Momentum Series event, which is a business building workshop where we're going to teach people to take their home inspection business to the next level. So we're very excited to have Brad here today for a quick 15-20 minute episode just to cover a little bit of what he'll be talking about at Momentum, so you can get a little sneak peek. And Brad, so you want to share a little bit about what your topic is, and then we can get into it?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for having me on today. We are super excited about this Momentum event. One thing that we've seen in the home inspection industry that we've all been talking about is sometimes that business building education is something that's not happening at all the events. And most of these guys, most everybody in the business, I can come from that. I actually have a home inspection business too. We're home inspectors. So where is the part where not just to be a better inspector, but to be a better business owner? I'm super excited at the event because we're going to talk about a topic that I think applies to every business owner. And that is the biggest challenge business owners face is they don't know what their biggest challenge is. Mm-hmm. So, I think that kind of leads us into a rhythm of doing things where we try to work on everything, but we're actually not really fixing anything. And, just like when it comes to your business, our time and our resources are dominated by those day-to-day immediate emergencies. And as an inspector, I know most of the guys in the industry, they're out doing the inspections still, at least some of the time, even guys that have teams. So when do you actually work on the business problems? And you have this much time to do it, right? So you've blocked off this much time. You need to be pretty specific and prioritize which ones you work on first. And so we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. First, how do you identify it? How do you go through a process to identify what's next, what to fix next? And then how do you go about building a system? How do you put a plan together where you fix that issue? And then you can move to the next issue, because there's always going to be a next issue in business. But you really can only fix one thing at a time. So that's what we're going to be talking about.
I love it, and it's so valuable. I think, like you said, Brad, there's so many one-man shops out there. And even some of the guys that have small teams, they're still out in the field doing the day-to-day, and it's just so hard to really dive in and work on your business. And a lot of times you almost have to take a couple steps back just to be able to move forward, and the first step is probably removing yourself from the field every single day.
That is a big step. And so, if that's somebody's goal, right, if they want to move themselves out, they're going to have to build a roadmap to get there. Because you can't go from being a one-man show to not doing any inspections in one step. That might be like 5 steps of working, and it all kind of is like, okay, so what's next? And I know it's really cool, and not to jump in or give too much away, but I know, Joe, you're going to be talking a little bit about, who do I hire next? Like, what does that look like? Like, do I need another inspector? Do I need an office manager? Do I need, what do I need? And how does that progression work as I work out of the field?
Yeah, exactly. And from, when you start hiring people, the revenue that you're currently generating is going to have to be repurposed. But always keep in mind, you're doing that so you can grow bigger than where you are. And that's I think the hardest thing for a single man is because that's their money. That's their income that they're counting, and that's paying their bills. And they're saying, wait, I'm going to have to give up $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 a month to hire somebody? I don't want to do that. I've already built this comfortable financial lifestyle, but the only way for you to get your time back and get to the next level is giving up some resources to be able to jump and do that. and that's, I think, the most challenging thing is for people to get out of their own mind. Well, yeah, it's temporary. I'm temporarily reducing my $2,000 to $3,000, $4,000 a month to hire this person, but I'm going to make $4,000, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 because I made that move of more revenue.
Exactly.
That's going to go to your bottom line or your pocket or however you want to structure your business.
Well, I think about it for like a one-man show. If you're the only guy doing inspections, if you get sick, if you get hurt, if you go on vacation, your revenue drops to zero. Yeah. Even if you're giving up some of that, you could actually, theoretically, and I know it's not just as easy as just doing it, you have somebody doing inspections, you technically could go on vacation and they could still earn revenue
exactly.
for your business. You could take a couple days off because you were sick. Or what if, goodness forbid, something happened to you? Having a team allows you to do that. It's not just building some massive business. It's having something that's not just you.
Yeah.
The business is its own thing.
I'm very excited, Brad, to hear your talk on this topic because I actually had a conversation with someone on my team yesterday about survival. And I think it's a great analogy to this in a business because think about it from a human perspective. If you're worried about survival, if you're worried about eating every day, and the analogy could be just fixing all the little problems, right? Solving all customer complaints, things like that. If you're stuck up in this finer details, you can't really think of the big picture. So you're never going to be able to build your survival hut if you're worried about what you're going to eat for your next meal, right? So we need to figure out how to get past the survival instincts and have that like autonomous run automatically so that then you can worry about big picture things and worry about taking your business to the next level because we don't have the bandwidth to worry about everything in our business, right? We can't plan at the same time as we're trying to stay afloat.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's this concept here, and it's all about knowing when to worry about what in what order, like when's the right time. So, this concept, and we'll go over it more in the class, but it's based on a hierarchy of needs. It's actually based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And so as you go up this hierarchy of needs, you go from like the most basic, like, living, breathing, air, water. Then you have like safety and belongingness, and then kind of what you feel about yourself, and then you have like self-actualization. So to give you an idea of how all this works together, so let's say that like, you're out and you're having a nice steak dinner, right, with a friend. You're at Ruth's Chris. You're enjoying a really nice good steak that they've cooked up in butter. You're talking about the meaning of life, right? You've kind of about self-actualization, and then you choke on a piece of steak. What are you worried about?
Survival.
Breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing. So there is a concept to this that we have to address the basic need that we have right now first. That conversation suddenly, like, it dropped in priority. It's like, I need to get this steak out of my throat so I can take another breath. So, and I know that's a super, like, basic analogy, but your business works the same way. And we want to achieve higher levels, but it's not linear.
Yeah.
And we got to know, like, we got to address those base needs. If that's something is broken in our sales, we can't go and fix something about our legacy, right? We have to fix that. So it's about knowing what to do without just living in the survival trap. Because the problem is our instinct is, like you said, Jake, it's really good at like finding food or water, but it's really terrible at building shelter or actually building a plan that goes anywhere. So we have to learn that our instinct might keep us alive, but it's never going to help us thrive. And so we need a system. We need something that like, okay, so we can plug it in, take ourselves, like you said, Joey, right? Take ourselves out of the equation for a second and look at it objectively. And that's the system we're going to teach in this. So, but if you come and you sit through this class, you're actually going to have a system that you objectively go through, a little process. It doesn't take all that long. And you're going to be like, okay, this is the next thing I need to fix. Here's my process to do it. Here's how I'm going to measure it. And when you get done, you reassess and you fix the next thing. And hopefully, as you build your business, you keep you work towards those higher levels, those things that make your business have impact and building a strong organization. But, you can't, if you're not having inspection phone calls happening, you can't go hire a team. So you've got to learn how to go through that in a way. And that's the thing. It's like we got to take the overwhelm out and clear up the next step.
Amen.
I think it's very profound. It's really interesting, actually. I think that these are the kind of things that everyone knows are true, but you don't know how to go about tackling it. So it's valuable that now you have someone like Brad who's going to lay it all out for you and say, all right, here is how you tackle it. You don't have to know what to do. You have to know how to figure out what to do.
Exactly. Because everybody sitting in that room that day, each one of us at this table is probably dealing with a different issue. In fact, the truth is we're dealing with a bunch of issues.
Yep.
We just have to be able to pick out which one we're going to focus on. Right? So, and what's important for Joey's business at its stage is different than what's important for my business today.
Yeah.
Right? So there's not a canned answer here either. This is a process where you learn to it's unique to you in this moment. It's a timing thing. It's not that we're doing the wrong things. We're doing the right things at the wrong time.
And what's a great point too is, we have a lot of issues within our businesses, and by prioritizing your problems, and if you solve like your top 2 or 3 problems, all the little problems below that will tend to go away because they're related to that one major problem. And so by
Absolutely.
prioritizing, you're not worried about the little shit. You're worried more about the bigger stuff. And by handling the bigger stuff, the little stuff tends to go away when it comes to issues. And it's crazy how they're all tied together. Even like inspector frustration. Well, if your phone system isn't working well, so you're getting frustrated agents that are calling in. They're dealing with a frustrated, and so that's going to transcend to the inspector. And now what that agent was mean to me during the inspection. Well, you solved the phone issue. Now they call in, they get a hold of somebody. They're not on hold for 5, 10, 15 minutes. They're not pissed off by the time they get somebody. It's not going to move past that. So you solve the phone issue, then it takes care of the issues that the inspectors may be facing with frustrated agents. So little things like that are huge,
I think that's a really, really good point. How easy is it for us to go around and try to fix symptoms instead of getting to the root problem? But you could fix all the symptoms in the world. You could talk to that inspector, try to make him feel better. But if you don't fix the issue that's causing the frustration to begin with, you're not really going to get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. So if anyone is interested in hearing about what Brad has to say, more on this topic, more about some of our other speakers, definitely check out the Pair Payments Momentum event that's happening on September 9th of 2021 in Fort Lauderdale. We'll have much more information to come. We're going to do a couple special episodes in the coming weeks where we have some of our panel of speakers come ahead of time onto the Inspection Pro Joe podcast to talk a little bit about their topics and give you, our audience, a preview about what we'll be learning and what we'll be teaching at the Pair Payments Momentum Masterclass. So is there any more information you guys want to give the audience about Momentum before we start rolling out more on it?
yeah, come. If you are in Florida, come to the event. Not only is there going to be great information there, because I know the other people that are speaking, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome with it. There's a wealth of not just knowledge, but actual wisdom, as in it's not just out of a book. These people have been living it. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I do want to give a quick plug. We have the page live. The registration page is live. I just checked it. So if you go to a momentumworkshop.live, you can check out more about it. You can click the link and register. We just want you to be there. This is all about you taking that next step in your business so that you're not just a home inspector, you're a successful business owner. And you just got to be there for it. That's
absolutely.
it.
So what I'm going to do is just put up really quickly the Momentum webpage so everyone can see it. This is if you do momentumworkshop.live. Brad, is that the URL?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You'll be directed right to here, and this webpage is where you'll be able to see everything on the event. But again, September 9th, 2021 in Fort Lauderdale. We're extremely excited about this. I don't think the excitement can be overstated. This is going to be an incredible event with some really incredible speakers. And there's Brad right there.
Well, thanks for having us on. Yeah, I know. There's a couple pictures of me, so unfortunately, everyone has to see that.
Yes.
That's great.
All right, guys. Well, hey, I guess we'll just see everybody at the Momentum event here coming up here in about a month.
We're excited. Can't wait to see everyone there.
Yep. Thank you very much for joining us for this little special edition episode of the Inspection Pro Joe podcast. We're very excited to bring you this Momentum series. And again, thank you very much to everyone who's engaging with us on Instagram. We just started an Instagram page, and now we're at over 1,000 followers of, some of the most engaging people in the home inspection industry. Thank you for just communicating with us on there and being so welcoming. We really appreciate it. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Inspection Pro Joe podcast. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell so you won't miss our next episode. This episode was produced by Jake Aronson. This has been a Pair Payments production.